Ladies and gentlemen, we are back at it with more college football 25 news, and today we got ourselves something a little bit more interesting. Okay, so as you can see, the deep dive of gameplay has been revealed earlier today. I feel like at the time I'm recording this, it felt like around an hour ago, pretty much, since the trailer came out for gameplay, and we finally saw a glimpse of what the game is going to look like. So therefore, I'm curious to see how much they have changed in this game, so here's what I'm going to do. Once again, I'm going to give you guys my full-on thoughts and opinions in all honesty about what I've saw throughout the entire deep dive, as they call it, for some gameplay and stuff, and what I've noticed thus far, okay? So, with that being said, the stuff that they went through in this particular video thus far was the wear and tear mechanics, the player abilities, in which I will get through later, and the Homefield Advantage and the unique playbooks, the unique playbooks. Okay, so first thing I've noticed thus far is that visually the game looks somewhat impressive, not going to lie. I mean, even though it's a bit of a mixture between gameplay and CGI cinematics and all that, like they do in every other trailer, because we all know EA Sports games, but thus far, graphically, it don't look that bad. It looks next gen. You know, it's pretty much what I would expect for a next-gen college football game, hence the fact that it's been pretty much 11 years almost since the game came out during the PS3 and Xbox 360's final year in their lifespan, as far as being the last current-gen consoles before the PS4 and Xbox One came out back in the day. So, heading into the so-called wear and tear system, so I've heard that they are, you know, dissecting this so-called mechanic into bits and pieces, and what I mean by that is that clearly this is more detailed, because I've heard in the trailer that they mentioned something about having slight or high or even severe possibilities of having an injury during the game the more you play it. So basically, the risk of injuries are ranging from slight to high to severe, which I'm guessing is the most dangerous injury to have, or let alone risk in this case. And so I was noticing how players were able to play differently depending on the risks that they are, you know, getting themselves into. The possibilities can be increasing over time. So pretty much what they're recommending us to do here is that you guys, or in this case us players, have to literally play smart and play carefully in order to avoid those said risks of injury, which is pretty much a precise move this time around for college football, considering that they are literally trying to think outside the box, in which so far I'm not mad at. Like, make no mistake, I'm not mad at this feature so far. Another thing that I am guessing is that I'm probably guessing that the wear and tear risks of injuries could like range from different players in different positions. Let's just say I'm a player with such small height. If I'm not playing carefully, due to my size, will it be able to have me go through a lesser chance of getting an injury? To where if I'm a bigger player with a bigger increase in size and height, I'm going to have a much more difficult time trying to avoid the risk of an injury if I'm a bigger player. Like, that's pretty much what I'm saying. I know it sounds confusing. I'm misusing my words, as some say, which is probably true. But again, this is just my guess. I have zero clue how this wear and tear thing is going to work in the game. But we have some time left later on down the road to see more of it in action before the game comes out. So that's the wear and tear system. Now, moving on to something else about player abilities. So from what I've seen, these proclaimed player abilities are somewhat similar to Madden's Superstar X Factor from what I'm seeing, as far as the icons and the designs of it and stuff like that. However, I will say this, at least they're trying to make it a bit more unique than what they have in Madden, because in comparison to Superstar X Factor, there are more than tons of player abilities for pretty much each and every playable position, in which I do like. Okay, so therefore I'm starting to see more signs of this game trying to distance itself further away from Madden as possible, but I'm still trying to hold on to being hopeful in this game, in which that will be a different topic for a different day because I'm not trying to get too far into that. But the player abilities, despite looking a bit similar to Madden's Superstar X Factor, like during gameplay and stuff like that, once you see the player in action, their ability will show up on the ground beneath their feet. That layout looks similar to Superstar X Factor. However, at least in this game, they're trying to be more unique with these abilities to the point where pretty much every player plays distinctively different from one another. Again, this is just me, but so far I am kind of liking what I'm seeing, so therefore that is another good sign in my book. Moving on to the Homefield Advantage, and what I've noticed thus far is this new thing called the Stadium Pulse. Well, it's not really new because I've heard it's been in the game since like NCAA 06, supposedly, even though I never played that game specifically myself, but I've heard this was like an old feature from back in the day that they're supposedly bringing back into this game. So that could be something, because in this feature particularly, I saw like a huge bar at the top right corner to where there's a big meter at the top right corner. For instance, what they said in the trailer, if you're the visiting team, you will be facing like various degrees, as they say, of home field advantage, which impacts the way the team plays and how the team operates on offense and stuff like that. And so again, it could be a similar thing because I've heard Madden 22 does it, but anyway, let me stop comparing this game to Madden. I'm sick of it. So I saw this before as well because I've heard this was also in the past NCAA games, although I never really recall seeing this in person myself. But this could be a huge make or break feature because I'm not sure how people would feel about this happening to them, like especially if they're playing this online, even though I'm not too entirely sure if it's even going to be a thing online. But again, maybe it's just me being hypothetical here as we speak. But home field advantage, I mean, listen, again, I've seen this before. It's really nothing new in this case because we've all seen this already at this point, if you think about it. But at the same time, in this game's particular case, this could be another unique feature since they've already brought this back for the first time in so long. All right. Now, the next thing they showed was this so-called revamped passing mechanic. Listen, I'm not really too big or crazy on the passing in these football games because, I mean, listen, me personally, I could pretty much care less about the passing, okay? However, I will say this one thing. If it's going to be revamped, will the passing at least be balanced, okay? I don't want nothing too slow, nor anything too overpowered and broken to the point where the game is no longer playable and fun and all that. Can the passing in this game, if it's going to be revamped, can it at least be balanced, okay? If you're going to revamp the so-called passing mechanics, add more precise control, as they call it in like every other football game throughout the past 20 plus years. Make it balanced, okay? So therefore, for those who have never touched a football game, either in their life or in so long, or for those who have been getting into the football games in recent years, we can feel like we're literally playing the quarterback role, okay? We want to feel like we are literally in the game doing what we must do and actually make the right calls, decisions, plays, all of that, okay? So with that being said, those are my official opinions and thoughts on the new gameplay deep dive that was revealed earlier today. So as you can see, I am still holding on so much hope for this game to be good, even though I've realized in the last video in the comment section, and I haven't even gotten deeper into this because I just didn't feel like it at the time. But I literally thought to myself, and I said this on Twitter too almost, why did these people feel like they were either butthurt, insecure, or all around confused on me giving my honest thoughts about the game after watching the reveal trailer more than enough times than I would like to admit? Because again, that was just me being entirely honest, keeping it real, not sugarcoating anything, while also giving out a little bit of truth, just a tiny bit. Look, it really irks me to know that just because I was skeptical at the time didn't mean I didn't have hope, okay? I said I was going to try out the game so I can give you guys more honest opinions then, okay? So for those of you that were downing me in the comment section, say whatever you want, I'm still here. Just know I'm still here. So for those of you that supports me on the other hand. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications. With that being said, it's been Viral, and I'm out. Peace.